let me tell you something, Victor.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Kamala Harris. Are you going to talk to me again? That's not even a question. You don't even need to dignify it with an answer. So
let me just say something about that. In my family and in my circle of friends, I don't see the symmetrical anger from the conservative, from the left. When I see people in families and groups of friends that say they're going to vote for Trump, they don't get angry and say, I'm not going to speak to you if you don't vote for Trump. But I do see it asymmetrically.
I love my father. He told me in the last election, if I vote for Trump, he's never speaking to me again. And I love him, but he said that, and that was really hurtful.
Is all on the left. Because of this, they believe that their ends are morally superior, and therefore the means necessary to achieve them are justified. If that means being acrimonious, rude, cutting people off, never talking to them, they will do. If that means on campus, you don't see conservative students doing what we're seeing. And when I was growing up, there was anti-Semitism, and it was, to the degree that I even knew about it, was on the rural right. And it was something along the lines of, we can't make, I grew up in a farming family, still live there. Well, we can't make any money because the Jews in New York, and I didn't even know who the Jews were. That doesn't exist anymore. The great majority of anti-Semitism is on the left. The acrimony is on the left. So in my family, when somebody wants to talk politics, and they find there's a disagreement, the parties that say, I don't want to talk to him anymore, come from the left. I have no problem I have a lot of friends. I would say at the Hoover Institution, that is considered center right if you read its mission statement, I would say 45% of the fellows are either Democrats or going to vote against Trump. And I think that's conservative. I think those of us who are conservative and will vote for Trump are less than a majority. And I will guarantee you that even though we are advertised as a center-right institution and Stanford University is supposedly disinterested and interested only in education, that the Stanford faculty is about 90% or 95% going to vote for Harris, and that we are far more politically diverse and tolerant at Hoover than Stanford University is. If you were a professor at Stanford and you were openly conservative and you said you were going to vote for Trump, you would incur a level of personal hostility in far greater magnitude than if you were at the Hoover Institution and said you despised Trump and you were voting for Harris. We have fellows here who say that openly on social media. And when I read that a fellow Hoover colleague has said that Trump is a criminal, he's horrible, he should be in jail, we should all, it doesn't bother me. That's what we're supposed to do. I've never once in my entire life ever confronted anybody at Hoover and said, I'm not going to be friendly with you, or you shouldn't say that. I've never done that. That's happened to me a number of times.
What I'm going to say is, you know why you're going to talk to me? It's because you're a good man and you're honest. Most of the people I email to come on this show, they don't respond because the show's not big enough for them. You came on when this show was tiny, when I had almost no listeners, and you helped put it on the map with that first interview. And after that first interview, you had to go, but you stayed an extra 10 minutes and talked to me about how I could be a better interviewer. And that really helped me too. And
well, I would just say there, I grew up in a very rural area, and although I came here to get a PhD in classical languages, I had to go back and farm because my grandparents were elderly. And then I started as a part-time teacher at Fresno State. So for me to get a voice, there were people in my life, the military historian John Keegan, people like that helped me, Donald Kagan, the classicists. So I have told my assistant, Megan, when you get inquiries about people who are starting out or have not been known, do background checks and everything, but let's at least spend 6 to 7 hours a month trying to help people get established. So I would say that I get each month 30 manuscripts people send me unsolicited, or I get 5 calls a day, and I try to, if I feel that they're sincere and capable and they don't have access to publication or attention, I try to do that. I really do.